Stay safe. From KCRG TV 9, this is First Alert Weather Now.
Hello there and welcome to the Friday night edition of First Alert Weather Now. I'm meteorologist Thompson.
I'm meteorologist Rickman.
Made it through another week. It has been a little tougher on some days than others, just due to the shocking cold that we got after what hasn't been a rough season so far.
Absolutely. And you know, it is funny, once you go through those really cold times, it's amazing how nice 36 degrees can feel. I walked outside today to come to work and I almost didn't need a jacket because I'm so used to 20 degrees and blowing winds after the first part of the week.
Yeah, for sure. And sunshine helps too. And we'll take a look at how long this sort of warmer phase will last and when the colder phase may make its return. We'll also take a look at this week's Grower's Guide, which I know sounds a little silly this time of year, but there's plenty to cover there too.
Absolutely. And we'll go over some things that we've looked at in terms of temperature and precipitation. But of course, as gardeners and farmers know, there's a quieter season, but you're always thinking ahead towards the next growing season.
Yeah, for certain. And your forecast for fun is coming up in just a little bit too. But first, what you need to know if you're headed out this evening is for very little change. We're actually going to see our temperatures slide a little bit, but they'll actually find themselves at a low temperature that's just a little bit above normal. And we're going to keep that going all the way through the weekend. The good news is that it comes with little in the way of disruptive weather. It will be breezy on Saturday and Sunday, especially during the day. Southwest winds will pick up each of them, but precipitation stays away for at least the next several days for the most part. There is one tiny exception, which I'll show you in a little bit. Loved looking at the city cam all evening long. This is the Marion Christmas in the Park celebration. Still ongoing for another 90 minutes or so officially, so there's still plenty of time to get down there and check out what's going on. Lots of people showing up. Weather certainly nice for it. Feels like temperatures in the 19-degree range in Dubuque, 27 in Waterloo, 25 in Marion. Of course, a little bit of a breeze is all it takes to push those numbers just a little bit lower than our air temperatures. By tomorrow morning, we're talking about wind chills in the upper teens, so nothing drastic, but certainly still a chilly start to the day. Not much in the way of cloud cover out there this evening. See a little bit in our northern zones at this point, right along the Iowa-Minnesota border, hugging the top two tiers of counties here along the northern edge of the state. But the rest of us, mostly clear. And that's the way it'll stay over the next several hours. Winds out of the southwest, only 5 to 15 overnight. So chilly to start Saturday, but we'll quickly warm as we go through the day.
And it will be nice to see some milder air. Of course, warm air around here does not last long at this time of year, so we have to make sure we get outside and enjoy it this weekend. Yeah,
the fortunate thing is it is falling on the weekend, and that's what a lot is going on around eastern Iowa. First Alert meteorologist Thompson has today's forecast for fun. It's magic. So many things going on around eastern Iowa this weekend, and your forecast for fun has all of them. Now, if you're just wanting to get outside, it's not a bad time period to do so. Temperatures will be on the mild side, 40s Saturday, 50s Sunday, and still stay in the 40s for at least parts of Monday. A little decorating to be done outside. Well, not bad either. Saturday and Sunday should be in pretty good shape. We'll keep it decent into Monday as well. If you do some of that outdoor decorating, share your pictures. Send us to them on UNews or through the KCRG TV 9 First Alert Weather app. You can find that button on the lower right corner of the app and send those pictures of your decorations. We'd love to see them, those colors of Christmas. Marion's Christmas in the Park underway right now. You missed the tree lighting, but still events taking place until 8 o'clock. Temperatures continue to turn a little bit cooler. Deck the District in the Czech Village will be in good shape too. We're talking 50s on Sunday and then things turning a little bit warmer on the Monday time frame. Tannenbaum Forest open in the Amanas. Saturday involves a high around 50. And Sunday, close to 53 in the Amanas with sunshine on both days. Tree lighting in Cedar Rapids is coming on Saturday night, and temperatures will be pretty good for it. It can be a chilly event, and this time we're talking highs around 40 degrees. Later Saturday night, that's Saturday during the day, rather. This is an 11 o'clock kickoff in Dallas. Outside the stadium, temperatures in the 40s, maybe a shower after the game, but inside, of course, good weather and hopefully an Iowa State victory. That's all that's going on this weekend. Enjoy it in your forecast for fun.
Now, your First Alert forecast with meteorologist Rickman.
Well, like Corey mentioned, a lot to look forward to this weekend, including Iowa State going off to play in the Big 12 championship. But if you're going to be spending some time outside on Saturday, perhaps you could go fly a kite if that's something that you're into. We are going to have southwesterly winds, like we mentioned, getting just a little bit breezy during the afternoon. Those gusts will be approaching or exceeding that 20-mile-an-hour mark. We'll see the same thing on Sunday as well, and that's why we do have wind highlighted on your First Alert forecast. Again, that's going to be as we go through the afternoon on Saturday and then afternoon on Sunday as well. Look outside of Solon right now, where they do have some holiday lights set up along the fence there and on their little pavilion. It's a nice night. Temperatures are in the 20s and 30s, so it's cool out there, but not not abnormally cool for this time of year. Winds are fairly light, and they are out of the southwest if you are feeling any kind of wind, which is why we're going to continue to see those temperatures climb over the next couple of days. Wind chill is just a couple of degrees cooler than the actual air temperature, but compared to what we've seen over the last couple of days, this is certainly not bad. 20s and 30s, we'll take that over those teens, single digits, and below zero readings that we have seen. And as we go through the overnight hours, those temperatures are going to fall a few more degrees, but overall we'll be pretty close to where we'd expect low temperatures to be at this time of year. Our normal low is 20. We're going to be 23 in Fayette, 22 in Manchester and Waterloo. Your cold spot is going to be 21 in Dubuque, and then 25 in Tama and Oskaloosa will be some of your warmer readings. As we have a look at your forecast for tomorrow, that's when we really start to see that mild air work its way into our region. Mid to upper 40s across our northeastern counties. Farther south and west you go, you'll find it's a few degrees warmer. Tama, 54, 54 in Oskaloosa as well. 50 degrees on the nose in Iowa City and 52 in Washington will make for a very nice day. And it's going to be plenty of sunshine to go along with it as well. As we go through the overnight hours into the early part of Saturday, we start off mostly sunny, and we keep it that way as we go through your afternoon with those persistent southwesterly winds. A few passing clouds during the afternoon and evening, but overall, very quiet weather as we look ahead over the next 24 hours. And this weekend, we continue that trend of calm and very mild air. We're going to be seeing highs on Sunday reach the low to mid 50s. Again, a little breezy during the afternoon, but nothing terrible, nothing that you will create too much of a bother. And then as we get into Monday, we do have that last mild day. Highs in the 40s, and then Monday night, lows fall into the 20s. That's a sign of what we're going to be dealing with as we get into next week. Temperatures fall into the 30s for highs. By the time we get to Tuesday, a little bit windy as well, so that will make things just a little bit uncomfortable at times, especially after enjoying that mild weekend weather. And then highs are in the 20s on Wednesday. We are seeing a chance at another warm up though as we get towards the very end of your 9-day forecast, end of the week, and perhaps next weekend we could have another shot at seeing some fairly mild and comfortable temperatures as well. We'll just have to wait and see as we get closer to that time frame. Of course, we'll keep you updated here as we get closer to then.
You are a proud, I assume, Iowa State alumnus.
Always proud, especially proud this year.
Yes, a big game tomorrow.
Yes.
11 o'clock. This is all before you come in for your shift, so you will have your whole day determined potentially by the outcome of this game.
Yes. So
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. I'm going to try to keep a poker face on the 10 o'clock news tomorrow night, but depending on the outcome of the game, you might notice very subtle changes in how I am.
You'll know. You probably saw it last week after the Georgia game on ABC.
That was just exhausting. I got to the end of that game, and I was like, I'm glad it's over.
Fair enough. And I would like to point out, and I'd like to take credit for myself here, I said I hope Iowa State wins as an Iowa fan. I think it's okay to extend the olive branch once in a while.
I appreciate that. And you know what? I will say that if Iowa was on the verge of a Big Ten championship going to their first playoff appearance, I would also extend the olive branch. And you guys have a bowl game coming up too.
Yeah, of some sort.
Yeah, best of luck to you guys as well.
Wow, look at that. Making peace.
Making peace. Love to see it until the Cyhawk game.
Now, another thing I need to correct myself on from earlier, I gave myself the credit first. Unfortunately, Grover's Guide was yesterday. If you missed it, check it out. You can find it on the KCRG YouTube page. However, tonight is meteorologist Joe Winters with Beyond the Weather.
Once again, joining us for our Beyond the Weather segment from the Cedar Amateur Astronomers is Chris Cardos. Chris, hope you're doing fine in the chillier weather that we've seen from time to time. December is here, and I know we've started December already, but what else do we have to look forward to in the skies in eastern Iowa, especially in the nighttime hours?
Okay, Joe. Well, thanks for having me here again. The first thing I'd like to talk about is the moon. Unless you are viewing the moon, the less moonlight you have, the better. So being aware of the moon cycle is kind of important. We had a new moon on December 1st, which is in our rearview mirror right now. We got a first quarter on December 8th, full moon on the 15th. On the 22nd, we have the last quarter, and on the 30th, we have our second new moon of the month. We also have the winter solstice on the 21st, which is the beginning of winter, but also the start of the days getting longer. Yay for that, right? Full moons are a great time to view and or photograph the moon, as are quarter moons. You can actually see more surface detail during the quarter moons because the light casts bigger shadows, the angle of the light. And new moons are great for seeing the most stars and for photographing star trails. Next up, we have Jupiter, our solar system's undisputed king of planets. It's easy to spot with the naked eye. It will appear in the east-northeast at the beginning of the month and move more directly east at the end of the month. It will also rise a bit higher each night. On the 7th of December, Jupiter will be at opposition and its closest approach to Earth, about 365 million miles, with its face fully illuminated by the sun and therefore at its brightest. Several of Jupiter's moons are the size of planets and can be easily seen with a good pair of binoculars or a telescope. Be aware that the moons may pass in front of or behind Jupiter, so sometimes you can't see all four at once. And with a small telescope, you can also see Jupiter's highly reflective bands. Last up, we have a couple of meteor showers, the Geminids, often one of the best, but this year it peaks on the night of December 13-14, where there is close to a full moon. They are historically bright and intensely colored, can be up to 120 per hour. If you're going to look for them, find a dark place and look to the east. Also try to find a spot where direct view of the moon is blocked by a building or trees to the west. Late evening to about 2 a.m. is the best. And finally, we have the Ursids meteor shower about a week later, peaking on the night of the 22nd to 23rd. That will only have about 10 meteors per hour given the moonlight, but there will be less moonlight than during the Geminids. And for those, early morning is best.
Well, you've given us a lot of opportunity to take a look at some things during the month of December. Just remember to dress appropriately if you're going to be outside, bundle up, and we'll look forward to that start of the winter season, as you mentioned, later this month. Chris Cardos from the Cedar Amateur Astronomers, thanks again for joining us.
You're most welcome.
And we will have some pretty decent weather for stargazing. As we head into this weekend, we're going to be seeing plenty of clear sky, and overnight temperatures aren't terrible either. We're going to be 32 Saturday night, 34 Sunday night, and that is thanks to those continuing southwesterly and southerly winds that are going to keep up Saturday and into Sunday. But you will notice as we get into Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, those winds gradually switch around to the northwest. And at this time of year, what that means for our temperatures means they're going to start to fall once again. By the time we get to the day on Tuesday, we're going to be seeing falling temperatures, bit of a temperature roller coaster as we go through the next couple of days with those warmer than average conditions falling below average, and then we come back up and warm once again as we get to the very end of your 9-day. And then we'll have those temperatures reaching the 40s by the time we get to the end of the week and into next weekend. The other thing we are watching, though, is a very dry 9-day forecast. As you have a look, we do have storm systems moving around us, but they're all tracking just to our south or just to our north. A chance maybe at some stray snow flurries as we get towards the later part of next week. But overall, any precipitation that we see is going to be very scattered, very light, won't have much of an impact on your lives as you go through your day. So the big thing we're going to be paying attention to is, like I said, those up and down temperatures over the next 9 days. Something for everybody, except precipitation, of course. But if you like warm weather or cold weather, something for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah, indeed. And we will, of course, track all of it as we go through next week as well. A little bit of a programming note. We will be joining you live at 4:30 on KCRG TV9, Monday through Friday next week. You will not be able to see Weather Now here at 6:30 where you're watching it right now. We'll, of course, have the playback available on our website on the weather section. There's a little link there that says KCRG First Alert Weather Now. It's also on the front page of KCRG.com. You can also find it on the KCRG YouTube channel. So there will be opportunities if that's not convenient for you. We always put it in our weather article on the website too, right after the show. So there's chances. But we will see you at 4:30 next week instead. Have a great weekend.